Working from home is a growing trend around the country, largely because of the convenience and the reduced cost that comes with eliminating a commute. Today on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see a home office renovation that really works for a busy professional. Attorney Kurt Bowerly is no stranger to 60-hour work weeks. When he bought this property out of foreclosure and started an extensive renovation, he decided to create an office that would allow him to work from home.
I view that office as sort of a transition space between where I do my profession and where I live. I have to have sort of the comfort of home and the warmth of home to some extent, but it's got to be a place where I can do everything I need to do to get my work done.
The room features a gorgeous cherry wood ceiling with an unusual basket weave design on the back wall. Those elements were in great shape, but the drywall and baseboards were damaged, along with the wood floors. And then there was the nasty mold around the large picture window. The first job is to pinpoint the cause of that mold. Contractor Mike Kaufman finds no shortage of possibilities.
So what happens is this dirt holds all the moisture in and it causes it to back up. Then you got a little hole they should have sealed right here also.
Mike uses a moisture meter on the stucco to make sure he's on the right track.
There's like 28% moisture in there. The building material shouldn't be that high. And so basically telling us there's moisture getting into the house.
He double checks inside with an infrared camera that shows temperature changes.
See where it's real dark blue at? That's usually due to a high content of moisture in there.
The cooler blues highlight the areas with water intrusion. Now that he's zeroed in on the trouble zone, Mike and his crew will fix the problems on the outside of the house first.
The building envelope on the outside of the building, you want to make sure that's secure, safe, and dry. And if you don't try to do that first, then you're not correcting the problem inside. Generally what we'll do is come out here, dig around the house. We usually dig 6 inches around the house. Come here and pressure clean, remove all the chalk, remove any loose caulking around the windows and doors and trim and whatnot. Then we go back and dig out the cracks, like these cracks right here. And that'll all be sealed in there, then we'll run a patch in that.
With the work on the outside in progress, Mike's back inside to deal with the mold. He says it's a good idea to have a professional test the mold to make sure it isn't toxic. He says the whole process is a little like forensics.
Certain mold won't grow when the humidity is so high. You got mold will grow this humidity, and then this one at this level, and this one at this level. So you basically tell what different, as a forensic, you basically tell what kind of level of humidity it was in the house.
Scientists say there are more than 400,000 types of mold, with black mold being the most notorious for causing serious health problems. Even though the mold in the office is black in color, Mike's team had it tested, and it's non-toxic. Mike says it's important to keep the humidity level below 50% to reduce the chances of mold growing in our homes.
This is a psychrometer or moisture meter. And we basically check the moisture in the air. And generally in a house, you want, below 45 to be comfortable. Different mold will grow in the air in the house when the humidity is, let's say, 15 above.
The crew will use a professional cleaner to get rid of the mold. Then they'll remove the damaged drywall, stripping it back to the concrete block to make sure there aren't any other problems. With the cleanup underway, it's time to head into our master carpenter's workshop to begin the next project. So Tucker Warren is working on the desk for our office project, and it's going to be pretty cool. Describe to us what you're making for the office.
Well, we are making a mid-century desk.
Okay.
Mid-century desk is designed of the, say, the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
Okay.
It's a very straight line desk, as you can see from these drawings here. Often you'll see the wooden handles that will represent the countertop edge as well.
This is very squared off. Yeah.
Very squared off. And it's kind of like if you ever watched the Jetsons, you see a lot of things like that, the angles and stuff, and you can see the Jetsons in this furniture of that era.
Mid-century modern design was a popular trend from the early 1930s to the mid-1960s. Tucker says walnut was widely used on original mid-century furniture, but it's expensive and may not wear as well as other woods.
To keep the cost down on this particular one, we went with a maple. With maple, and you can stain it a lot of different colors that just look fantastic. Dark browns, you can put even some greens in it. So this gives the customer a really good option to choose a tone or a tint or a stain of their choice on it.
Okay, this piece of wood is very sturdy looking. I mean,
very hard.
So maple is a hard wood.
Yes, it is.
And
very hard.
It's going to be durable.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
What we like about it too, it takes impacts well.
This is heavy.
Yep, maple.
Tucker, help me.
All right.
Oh, I like it.
Okay, what we got here is the end panels of the desk.
The team uses a template to make sure they get the clean lines perfect. When the desktop is ready for stain, it's all hands on deck.
She's got a staining sponge there. It's got
Okay.
a lot of stain in it. And because it's such a large surface, we would, you know, tag team this together or triple
Okay.
team it with you.
Okay.
So she's going to start wiping the stain on.
Okay.
Might step back just a little
right.
bit, and then we'll come back, you know, we'll let her get a little bit ahead of us. And
That's pretty.
yeah. Yeah.
Now let's say you did these first few strokes and you're like, oh no, that's the
Is it-
wrong color. Is there anything you can do at this point, or is
Stop.
it?
Stop and wipe it away. Sometimes we'll take some mineral spirits or, you know, something to thin it out. Try to wipe as much of it away as we possibly can. Then
Okay.
we've got to sand it back down to the raw wood.
With the color right on point, we smooth the stain on in long, even strokes with the grain of the wood.
Just make sure that you get all the way into the corners and that we don't miss any areas.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Coming up next on Ready, Set, Renovate, with the water damage and mold out of the way, it's time to tackle the office floor.
After I scrape up all the glue that I was able to come in with my diamond grinder, that I was able to go ahead and remove that and bring it back to the bare concrete.